The future always sounds crazy until it shows up at your front door.
Send it.
Check out this headline from 1963. It says, you'll be able to carry phone in pocket in future. This is a telecom company saying that they were developing a phone that you could, carry in your pocket with a visual display. Pretty incredible.
Man, 1963, that like
Joan Cleaver there.
You can really like pinpoint the iPhone for all the innovation, but man, rewind the clock. 1963, because what the iPhone was like 2002, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. Man, how cool is this? I love stories like this, especially like where they said that they had like a prototype working model.
Right.
You'll be able to call from anywhere you're at.
This is a visual image telephone. Allows the parties to converse by way of microphone and loudspeaker. Wow.
Yeah, I love they
While a
the
miniature
loudspeaker
television
too.
camera.
I know.
They call it a television camera.
Isn't it crazy?
Love it.
Transmit the image.
It just goes to show
Still FaceTime.
Ideas are vibrations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this one was vibrating for a long time before it came to fruition.
So cool.
Pretty neat, yes. When the future arrives faster than expected, it doesn't just change convenience, it changes risk. So recently, the Fed admits that over 300 million Social Security numbers were uploaded to a non-secure server.
Yeah, this hit because they basically served a lawsuit to the government just a few days ago.
Wow.
So originally they were government was denying the fact of any misplay, whatnot, that Doge had when they were having when they were doing the review, et cetera. Well, now that it has basically been uncovered, and they're now admitting that over 300, it's speculated, 300 million Americans were uploaded to a non-secure server.
Insane.
Is that why I'm getting all those spam calls?
Yeah, probably. Well, and going a step further on this, right? Like there is real merit to this lawsuit because there's over 69 million Americans. I'll repeat that: 69 million Americans that are receiving benefits from the government. So they're at real risk for basically having some fraud and issues because of this.
That's why you always look at your credit report. Make sure you have your credit report on lock.
I was going to say, yes, that's why I lock mine.
Yes.
So if anyone tries to access it, I had my identity stolen, about a decade ago?
Oh,
Yeah.
And you said it was horrible.
It was horrible. It took years to clean it up. If I had to take a stab at, that impact, it was pretty severe.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It
You
sucked.
had a bad credit score for a little bit.
I did. I mean, I think at one point it was in the
Especially
5s.
wrongfully. That's the worst part, wrongfully.
Yeah, someone in Las Vegas, and they just went ham. And within the span of 2 days, they opened up probably 50 different accounts across cell phone carriers, jewelry companies, every retailer, Kohl's, Macy's, Target. I mean, everything you can imagine. Everything within literally 2 days.
My stepdad had fraud done, and it was actually from his Fidelity account. They got into some arm or something that he had. I don't remember the exact details because it's 2 years ago, but it was over $30,000 that was stolen. And he's to this day, he's still going back and forth and has not been reimbursed the money.
You're kidding.
That's serious.
That is insane. So, sometimes these digital risks feel invisible. And sometimes the problems show up once the ink is dry. So a buyer purchased a home and then had removed a piece of crown molding from the ceiling, saw some brown stuff oozing out, and discovered there was a colony of raccoons living inside the attic.
What was the brown,
and the brown
oozing
stuff was poop.
Oh,
How did they not know there was raccoons in there?
I have
only
no
that,
idea.
Aren't raccoons loud?
It was a cabin located in a heavily wooded lot in Kansas City, Missouri. So maybe
No inspection?
Who knows? But imagine finding that after you purchase the home. That would suck.
Oh,
Wow.
I've dealt with some crazy stuff before. Definitely rats, right, in attics and whatnot. But one of the big ones I know I dealt with was bee honeycomb
Us as well.
massively
Yeah.
in a wall. They had to tear apart the whole thing to get it out, right? 'Cause
Yes.
it's just
Oozes out of the
oh
outlets.
yeah, it's
to
terrible.
electrical
And then when
outlets.
they tore it apart, I remember the videos and just the hives are crazy. It was as big as me, right between the studs.
Have you seen the girl on Instagram that will remove a colony of bees, and she does it essentially with no protective gear on? She just smokes them, and then she finds the queen and she relocates the queen, and then all the other bees just
go.
It's
it is wild.
She's incredible. She's like the bee whisperer. But yeah, I mean, things do show up after close, and when those surprises hit, people often look for money wherever they can find it. And speaking of money, there's a proposal for Americans to be able to use their 401k penalty-free to purchase a home. Housing Wire dropped an article saying tapping into your 401k for home ownership is risky business per experts.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me as per those experts, like that are financial advisors, because they want to keep that money in those accounts.
Yep.
Right? We all know that.
Hey, don't move your money.
Well, they do cite some data, and when we had talked about this last week, one of the questions that we raised is how does home price appreciation compare to the S&P 500? And what they did say is that the returns for house prices are typically between 3 to 5% annually, and the returns on the S&P 500 historically is about 7%. So your return in the S&P 500 on average is greater, but we know that there are areas where you could see an outsized impact in home price appreciation.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say there is one huge caveat that they're missing in that.
And what is that?
Your down payment, let's just use simple math here, of $50,000, or let's even $100,000 on a $500,000 house. Well, guess what the phrase I just said, $500,000 house. Now you're making 3 to 5% on a $500,000 house, while you're making 7 to 8%, even 10% on your $100,000. I don't know about y'all. Over time, I'm gonna take that 5% on $500,000 compounding versus the $100,000. Right. That's the math.
Yes,
that I'm
exactly.
does the math.
So we could ask, AI which simulation would be better. We'll do that, and on next episode we'll come back to you with the results.
And how much do you put? How much value do you put on like having a house, security,
absolutely,
right,
legacy, like being in a house for 20 years?
Where the heart
your
is.
kids are there, and they're that's their home. So like,
absolutely,
people, there's value there too.
You can't live in the S&P 500.
Nope, you can't.
No. You cannot. And just when the future seems like it can't get more interesting, it does. Ring released this new surveillance system for your home. It is a drone, flies around your house, and when it needs to recharge, goes back to its base, recharges, and then flies around again. Check it out. Isn't that insane?
Or it flies around your office to make sure your employees are working.
Oh my goodness.
Just kidding.
That's what we were talking about in pre-show. Come on now, y'all know you're thinking about that.
That'd be funny. It's flying around. It's like behind you. You're like, oh yeah,
Big Brother in a whole new capacity.
Get off YouTube, bro.
That is so terrible. I would never. Zoodealio
That's what
team.
this was really
I would
created
never,
for, right? This is like a bury the lead kind of thing.
No. But we did talk about it'd be cool to get one because they are available. It's by invite only, so you can go to Amazon and you can request an invitation to get one. It's only $250.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about how it would be pretty cool to get one to fly it around the office and make little Instagram videos with it.
I imagine it's loud though. Like, wouldn't it be like?
Absolutely.
I mean, a
drones
normal
aren't.
drone is loud.
Drones aren't like.
It's definitely going to be loud.
How much louder can it be than the chiller on the top of our roof? That sounds like it's dropping golf balls every once in a while. We're in a 5-story building, and we're on the top, and the roof above us there is a medical imaging on the first floor, and they installed a chiller right above our podcast room. And in fact, it's going now. You probably can't hear it. We can hear it. It's crazy.
It's all right. The last thing I'll add in on this is the nighttime rent-a-cop unions going to be threatened by this.
Yes, they need one monitoring the parking garage. Kids go up there with their scooters and their e-bikes, and they
Yep.
But I mean, I would imagine that these are probably going to be, surveilling like streets and stuff like that too, right? Or can they?
Dude, when you think about actually beat cops and stuff like that, this is real. This is like a play of RoboCop.
RoboCop, it's coming. It's happening. The future is unveiling itself now. What do you think? Drop a comment, and thanks for tuning in.